Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and I will be reviewing The Bachelor episode 8. Again, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel, you like this video, and you comment below to let me know what you thought. Let me know. So we open up with Matt working out. Lots of Peloton heavy. This is a Peloton sponsored show, I guess. It's so much Peloton. Jeez Louise. But he's working out with his little skinny little legs. And there are 4 girls left. And it's hometown week. Oh. We got Rachel, we got Serena, Bree, and Michelle. Those are the 4 girls left, and we're gonna meet their parents and their loved ones. And I wondered, so because of COVID and everything, they ordinarily would go to each hometown and like schedule that. But now they're flying the parents in, and I'm like, wow, so how did that work? I'm just like, that must have been a lot for the show to have to test all these people, you know? And then I'm like, so did the family quarantine for 2 weeks on set like everybody else, or how did that work? But we get Michelle's hometown first. And Michelle has her dad and her mom in. And Michelle is from Minnesota, so she's going to, I love that this time around, the girls get to kind of choose and pick the dates and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. But Michelle is first, and she's like, I'm from Minnesota, and what I would be doing right now is like riding a bike. So let's ride some bikes in the park. Okay. So they ride bikes in the park, and it's cute, and they're talking, and it's cute, and they're talking. But first off, his hands were all up on her butt. When they met up for the date, she ran and jumped in his arm, and he just, scooped his hands right underneath her butt. It was kind of cute, but then I was like, wow, handsy. Oh my gosh, and it was so cute. Matt and Michelle were wearing the same outfit. That was actually kind of cute. Blue top and like black pants. Okay, so I feel like Matt likes Michelle. I feel like they definitely had a really, really, really strong connection at first, but throughout this date, like he seems like he's there, but like, I don't know if he likes her. I don't know if he's feeling her the same way she's feeling him. I don't know. But they do look cute together. So after the bike ride, they walk into like what looks like some sort of like, it looks like a class. They walk in, and it's a virtual class. And basically she has like all of her students up that she teaches on this big screen. And that was so cute. They walk in, and all the kids are like waving from the screen. And I was like, oh my God, that was actually really cute. I really like Michelle. Those kids were asking Matt questions. They were grilling Matt. They were grilling him. And she's basically just showing him her life. Like, these are my students. This is what's really important to me. I'm a teacher. And you can tell the kids have a great relationship with her. It's really cute. The kids are grilling Matt. I don't think they were feeling Matt like that. I don't think they were feeling Matt, but Matt was really good, and he answered those questions really well. He did a good job at answering the questions. There's one kid who straight up asked him, "Are you going to marry her?" And he was like, I don't know. Anyway, so you can tell that the kids really, they like her, Oh, right. So towards the end, she asked the kids, like, if you like Matt, put your thumb up. Do you think we're a good couple? Like, if we're a good couple, put your thumbs up. And not all the kids put their thumbs up right away. I noticed that. I don't know if y'all noticed that. There was one kid, the same kid who flat out asked Matt, like, are you going to marry Michelle? He didn't put his hand up all right away. It was like all the other kids were like, some kids like did it immediately, and some were kind of like, that kid was the last one to put his thumbs up. I just thought that was funny. The thing about Michelle is that she seems so genuine. Like, she just seems very warm, and she just seems like a nice, regular person. you know? And we see where she gets that warmth. We meet the second half of the date, we meet her parents. Oh my gosh. So warm and like inviting. And then did you notice her parents were holding hands? I'm like, I wonder how long her parents have been married for, but they were holding hands the whole time. Anyway, at first I noticed that the camera was only on her mom. So, so Michelle is biracial. Her mom is white and her dad is black. Her dad's name is Ephraim. I was like, wow, that is an old school name. And I think her dad is Caribbean. I heard an accent. I think her dad is Caribbean. So anyway, they just seemed really cute. That like her parents are so cute and so warm. And I'm just like, parents are gonna parent. I like how her mom was like, ooh, wow, this is a lot. Is this too fast? Do you think this is going too fast? Oh, okay. Because he has other women here. So I just thought that was, I thought their talk was cute. The talk that Matt and Michelle's dad had was interesting because I think her dad smelled BS. Like this is the thing. Matt is very good at presenting himself, right? And talking. And I think that he not because he is a bullshitty person, but he knows how to, well, what am I trying to say? Matt knows how to bullshit. And I feel like from tonight, a lot of the parents didn't like that or didn't appreciate it, or they were cutting him off. Just like, okay. But do you love this person? Do you like her? Do you like my daughter? Like, anyway, but it seemed like we got that from Ephraim, where he was just kind of like, okay. But what do you see in her? Oh, okay. All right. Because Matt just kind of goes on and on. She's amazing and beautiful and inspiring. And they're like, okay, cut the bullshit. What do you actually like about my daughter? So I did like that. Ephraim was kind of giving it to him a little bit. And I don't think that, I don't know. I don't know if Ephraim really liked Matt like that, but but they were there to support their daughter, which that's what they said. And so that was really sweet. They were really sweet. At first, it seemed like they weren't showing the dad as much as the mom at first. I was like, there's another person in the room, but I don't know. Maybe that's just editing. I don't know. They showed her mom a lot. So yeah, Rachel is next and they meet up and they're really excited. And Matt says that in his confessional, like when he likes someone, he gives them a hard time. When someone says that, I don't know, that's just bullshit to me. That's like, we're not in like elementary school. What do you mean you give the person a hard time if you like them? I mean, I get it, but like that, I don't like that. Anyway, but yeah, he says that he's been giving Rachel a hard time because he likes her. And I'm like, what? Has he been giving her a hard? What does that look like? What is a hard time? What does that look like? I don't know, but I just thought that was interesting. So, so they meet up and she's like, you ready for a surprise? I want to surprise you. And she blindfolds him and then like walks his giant self and squeezes him into this little car that they're in. And she drives all the way up. And so they're going to be skydiving. They're going to be free falling out of a plane. And he's really excited and she's really excited. And whew, it's a lot. I will say, so they go up and they jump out of a plane and it's really exciting. They got some really great shots. For this little thing, skydiving event portion of the show. Good job. So they go skydiving, and Matt lands successfully. And then, from the commercials and everything, we see that Rachel has a really hard landing, like a really hard landing. It looked like it hurt. She hit the ground super hard and tumbled over. And then there's someone on the back of her. So he's on top of her too. It just looked uncomfortable. And so the show makes it seem like it's even worse. Anyway, so Matt runs over and it's like, oh my God, Rachel, are you okay? Like, oh my God, I thought you were going to die. Anyways, so she does look kind of hurt though. And like, she just looks really disheveled and they pick her up and like there's leaves all in her hair and her hair is all matted and it looks crazy. And she, poor baby, she looked like she got the wind knocked out of her, which she probably did. That was a hard fall. But she just looked so sad and pouty after that. She was so excited. And I feel like that's the most excited we've seen her be on the show. She was so excited. And then after the fall, it just seemed like her energy kind of dipped, you know. I don't know if it was just because she was in pain or she was embarrassed because she fell or something. But anyway, so he's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're okay, because I just, it makes me realize how much I like you. When I saw you fall like that, I just was like, oh my God, like, am I not going to get to know her anymore? Like, it just made me realize how much it made me realize how deep my feelings are for you. And I'm like, really? Okay. Okay. And she's like, oh my God, that's so sweet. Like, he helped me out so much. And he's like, he cares about me. And like, I just thought it was funny that they reset and like recombed her hair and took all the stuff out, because it was so silky smooth. Like, it went from like to like being so silky smooth, like the next shot. So that's that. So the second half of the date, they meet the parents, and so Rachel has her mom, her dad, and her little sister there to support her. And so they walk into the room, and her family seems really excited to see Rachel. She looks a lot like her dad, And it looks like Rachel's biracial as well. It looks like, I'm not sure what her dad, what nationality or what I'm not sure what nationality he is. He looks like he might be maybe Native American or Latino. But boy, this right here, duplicate copy. Rachel looks just like her dad, like the eyebrows. But then like the energy from her dad just seemed kind of like, just their whole family dynamic didn't seem like something I would want to be around. I think because seeing Rachel and seeing how like warm and nice her parents were, and then seeing how warm and nice Michelle's parents were, and then seeing like the vibe with Rachel's parents, like, I don't know, like as a parent, of course, you're going to be kind of skeptical of this show. It's been on for so long and it's a reality show. And so each parent brought in a little bit of that normal bit of skepticism. But I feel like Rachel's dad was a little too much. Like, are there any other reasons you don't like Matt? I don't know. But I don't know. He just seemed to not really like the process at all. And I get that. I get that. But he was like questioning Matt on like, how could you like Rachel when you're dating all these other women? And like, are you sure? I mean, I just don't understand this whole process. This seems kind of messed up to me. And I'm like, okay. So he's grilling Matt about all of that. And Matt's trying to answer the questions, but Matt, again, he does this bullshit thing where he's like a car salesman. And even if he means what he says, it just sounds like bullshit. It just sounds like he's covering all his bases when he talks. He's not really answering any questions specifically. So I don't know. I think it went okay, but like if I were Matt, I don't think I would want to be around that kind of vibe. It didn't seem very friendly or anything. Like, I don't know. So that was Rachel. I was surprised. I thought that in the placement of the women, I thought Rachel would go last because it seems like she's the winner of the show already. So I thought that they would save her for the last meeting. But so we get that done and over with, and in the night, and he's just like, yeah, that was tough, but like I did it, and I really am happy that I got the opportunity to talk to your parents and everything, but I don't feel comfortable asking your father for your hand in marriage yet. And I guess apparently that was something that they must have talked about, because Rachel was like, I'm so disappointed that he didn't ask my dad. Like, I'm so disappointed. And like, I don't know, it seems like I'm like, I don't know, man. I think Rachel might just want to win. I don't know. Anyway, but I was like, is that because he didn't talk about that with Michelle. That didn't seem like an expectation with him and Michelle. So I was wondering why it was such an expectation that he should ask her dad, or maybe that's just, I don't know. But basically he's like, yeah, I didn't really feel comfortable asking him that, right then and there. And she's like, oh man, that worries me, but okay. And they kiss, and that's the end of the night. Before I keep going, the other thing about Michelle's family, when she said to Michelle, do you see your dad and Matt? You know how your dad will put me above anything, always? Do you think that Matt would do that for you? I was like, wow. One of these days. That was such a good question, but it said more about her parents' relationship to me than anything. I was just like, wow. The next date is Bree's date with Matt. The next hometown. And again, she runs up and jumps into his arms, and he cups her booty, cups that ass. So, that's that. But I'm like, at this point, yeah, I mean, I guess that's not really that weird considering, they are dating. So whatever. But so on their date, they go off-roading, sort of to remind him like of their first date when they went, or whatever. They go off-roading in this Jeep, and they go around in the mud, and I don't know, it looks kind of boring, but they seem like good friends. Like, I think the connection with Bree and Matt, again, I think if they saw each other out at a club or something, I think they would hook up. I think they would hook up once or twice, and that would be it. I don't think that they would be in a relationship. I don't know. I'm wondering if Bree really likes him like that. I don't know. I don't know if Bree's really into him. But yeah, they do seem kind of like friends, like, like friends with benefits kind of situation. They don't really seem like they're dating each other seriously. Yeah, we meet Bree's mom and best friend, who's also named Bree, and her baby sister, fresh baby sister. And they're also cute. Her best friend is just as cute as she is. And her mom is oh my gosh, her mom looks so young. Her mom looks so young and pretty, but doesn't look anything like Bree. Michelle looked more like her mom. Rachel looked more like her dad. Bree doesn't look like her mom at all. But Mama Bear was definitely grilling Matt, and yeah, and wasn't falling for the bullshit either. It was just kind of like cut to the chase. Like she was also interrupting him in the middle of him talking, like, do you like my daughter? What about my daughter is so special? Like, what do you like about her? Like, and I mean, you got a lot of other girls here. Why choose her? And he's talking, and he goes, covering his bases again. And they talk to Bree. She's just like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, and she's just like, oh yeah, I like him. I just, my guard is up. My guard is up, and I'm just kind of scared. And I'm like, I don't think it's that you're scared. I think that you're just not into him. I think that Bree's just not into him. And we see what happens with Serena. We'll get to that. But yeah, this whole, like, I'm so afraid, like, some of that could be true, but I think also you just might not like him. And you want to win. You want to win because this whole experience is an experience. You're on this reality show. You're trapped in this, not trapped, but you're in this house with a lot of other women for 7 weeks. It's been almost 2 months, and, you kind of want to finish what you started. So nobody wants to go home, but I don't think that some of these girls are as into him. But anyway, so there wasn't too much from his family hometown date with Bree. That was mostly about it. Yeah, she's got a cute family, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. Okay, so we get the final date, the fourth and final date, hometown date, and it's with Serena. This one was different because did you notice all of the other girls, when they met up on their date, the girls ran up to Matt and jumped into his arms. Matt ran to Serena. This whole time I thought he was really feeling Rachel, and I guess he was really liking Serena. She's the only one to have 2 one-on-one dates, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, she's the only one that he's ever run to. I thought that was telling there. So Serena is from Canada, and so their date consists of her just, introducing him to her Canadian traditions and food and culture and stuff like that. So she takes him into this room, and it's all these Canadian flags and stuff everywhere, and they're trying all different types of like Canadian delicacies, or I don't know if they're really delicacies, but just like Canadian food, I guess, or what they would eat in Canada. And so she's asking him questions like, point out where I'm from on a map, which, okay. And then she's like, how many points does the maple leaf have? And he's like, he closed his eyes and is starting to count. And she's like, Matt, there's literal inspiration all around you. Like the walls were covered in nothing but maple leaves. He didn't have to close his eyes. Matt's a little ditzy. She asked him, she was like, what do Canadians call those like slouchy hats? Which I guess it's called a tonga or a tonka or whatever. I got it wrong. But he said a toboggan. He said they call the hats a toboggan. And she's like, what? No. Toboggan is not a hat. And he looked genuinely surprised. He was like, what? And she's like, no, Matt. Like, do you know what a toboggan is? And he's like, I thought that they had like a cute little like one-on-one. Like they seemed like they dated already. Like she seemed like kind of irritated by him, but she liked him. And I was like, oh, they're dating. Like they seemed like a couple who had been together for a minute. At first, that's what I thought. So that date ends. We get the second half, and he meets Serena's mom, dad, and little sister. And again, her family seemed sweet. Her family seemed just as warm as Michelle's family. They had good vibes. They just seemed like they had good vibes. And they're all excited and they're talking, and her mom pulls her aside and has a conversation with her. Well, no, first Serena has a talk with her baby sister, or her little sister, and her little sister's like, do you like him? Like, it doesn't seem like you like him. Just straight up, like, Matt seems like a nice guy, but like, you don't seem to be all the way there with him. And she's like, ugh. It's almost as if once her sister said that, it was like she realized that, and she just couldn't go back from that point. Once her sister confirmed it out loud, it was like, oh man, that's true. And she couldn't go back to thinking that she really liked him. And she was trying to be like, maybe I'm just scared. Maybe I'm just scared to open up and, but she doesn't like him like that. And she got even more honest with her mom. Her mom was like, she's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I just feel like I have all these doubts, and I'm not really sure. And I don't really know if I like him like that. I don't know if he's my person. And she's like, baby, you got to do what you got to do, like, aw, that was a good scene, but it was sad, but what was funny, not really funny. So basically at the end of that date, I think she had her mind set up that this wasn't going to work. She basically already confirmed that with her family. Her family was able to pull that out of her. And she was just like, yeah, I guess that's what it is. And so at the end of the day, like, she basically is honest with Matt and is like, yeah, I have doubts. I have doubts. And I don't know what to do with them. And he's like, oh, but I like you and I want you to be here. It's like she keeps telling him like, I don't really in a way, like, I don't really know, I don't really like you, sort of. And he's like, it's okay. It's okay. I like you. It's okay. Like, he takes it so well, because now that I think about it, the last episode where she didn't want to get close with him, she didn't want to do the yoga. I'm like, I don't think it was about doing something that was sort of sexual in public. I think she wasn't feeling him like that. Now it makes sense. And so yeah, he walks away from that, and he's like, okay, I don't know what else to tell her. I don't know what else I can, I don't know how else to prove to her that, like, I like her, and how to, like, make her feel like she's not doubting the process. So he's still thinking about it. And then, so we get to the next day, and he has this little talk with Chris, and he's like, yeah, I'm still thinking about Serena, and I don't know. She just seems like she's not sure. And so he goes to talk to her, and he's like, oh, this was kind of sad. He's like, yeah, I like you so much, and I want you to be here, and I don't want you to doubt anymore. And I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And he's like so happy saying this. And she basically is like, I don't like you. I mean, she doesn't say that, but she's like thinking about it, and, you're not my person. And I was like, ooh, I mean, that's honest, but why say that? And it got really quiet, and the camera zoomed in on Matt's face, and he didn't say anything for a minute. And they zoomed in on her face, and she looked so sad. Like, her eyes, her face was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, she looked so sorry in her eyes, looking at him, because he wasn't saying anything. She, because he's like, I like you so much. And she's like, but yeah, I don't like you. And so he's like, okay. He kind of just says that, and it's quiet. And he looks hurt, and he's like, okay, well, do you want to walk me out? And she's like, yes, I'll walk you out. And it's just kind of quiet and awkward. And, he gets back in the car and closes the door. And she's like, oh man, I feel so bad that I had to do that. And I can't believe it's just over. Like, I'm not going to see him anymore. And it just was, it was just kind of sad. And then Matt started crying and was just like, I wish that I could have spoken to her for a little bit longer, but, like, the only thing I knew how to do was run because I was hurt. And I was like, ooh, he really liked her. This whole time, I thought he was really, 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 really feeling Rachel. But I guess it was Serena this whole time. Surprised me, but he was really hurt. Like, he's crying. And yeah, so that's it. So now there's a rose ceremony, and now there's just Michelle, Bree, and Rachel left. And so the girls are walking into the room, and they're like, oh, is Serena gone? Did she leave? Is she gone? They're talking amongst themselves, and Matt comes in and basically confirms, like, Serena wasn't feeling this whole process, so she left. And I feel like Rachel was like, yes. And the other girls were kind of like, so this is the part, though, where it's like, so he's handing out the roses, and there's no one to not give a rose to. So he gives a rose to all of them, but he gives a rose to Bree last. And even she says, I can't help but feel the way that he gave me the rose last. I'm glad I got a rose, but, like, what? He calls Michelle first, then Rachel, then Bree. And I'm thinking, I'm guessing it would have been Bree then. Because if Serena would have showed up, he would have given a rose to Serena and not Bree. And Bree would have been the one going home. Because before all of this, Chris does ask Matt, are there any, if you think that Serena is questioning this whole thing or has doubts, do you think that there are any other women who have doubts? And I don't think they edited that part. I don't think he answered that question, but I'm like, yeah, Bree wants to win. I don't think she really is liking him like that. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. He gives all the women roses. And I think at this point, this is the thing. I think that I think Rachel likes him a lot. Now I'm doubting how much he actually likes Rachel with tonight's rose, with the way tonight went down. I think that he likes Michelle and Michelle likes him. I think Michelle seems very confident. She's like, that's my man. She's like, I'm closer to getting my man. But I think Michelle could do better. Honestly, I feel like Michelle's too much of a nice person. She's too much of a real person to be with Matt. I feel like she can do better. I feel like Michelle could do better. And Bree could do better too. I don't think she's feeling him like that. She wants to win. But yeah, so it looks like the real choice is between Rachel and Michelle. I feel like the normal choice would be Michelle. And I say normal just because, like, if he's really trying to get married and start a life, it would be Michelle. If he's just kind of trying to pick somebody to win the show and have the show be over so they can, go and do their own things like they usually do after every Bachelor season, then pick Rachel. Because Rachel's still young. Rachel's like 24. And even if he picks Rachel, I don't see them, staying in some sort of relationship at all. At all. I don't see any sort of long-term thing. I think they would have fun and it would be cute. And then Rachel would go on and get her own season or do some other stuff like everybody else is going to do. They're going to use this. That's why I'm like, okay, yeah, Bree, you quit your job, but like, you can parlay this experience. You can, use this experience to your benefit. You're on a national television show. I'm sure that helps, and that'll help you get another job, maybe in media or something, or maybe she'll be on the Island show. We'll see. Anyway, that was a lot. That was a lot. This is a long video. Thank you for watching this. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Oh my God. So we see the preview of the next episode, and there's a lot of crying. It looks like somebody else leaves. Somebody else leaves the show, and I'm wondering if it's Bree or Rachel. I wonder if Rachel's not going to leave the show. She's so into it and she wants to win. Is Michelle going to leave the show? It looks like somebody leaves because he is crying. So we'll see what happens next. What did you guys think of this episode? Let me know. I think I've said that already. It's the coffee. Yeah, that's it. Join me again next week for another review of The Bachelor. Yeah. Bye.